Every few years it comes along. The RFP, the dreaded event. You've got to bring in the agencies. You've got to interview them. You've got to read documents that thick. And then you have to make a choice that seems nearly impossible. What we want to do is try to simplify some of the choices you're going to have to make in this process. Today, we're going to talk about choosing the right agency for the right fit for your brand. Are you doing an RFP to hire an advertising agency? There's a few tips I would consider. A, look at the number of employees and look at the revenue. This is a really important question, and don't look through the wrong lens. Some people believe more is better. If I have 500 employees at my agency, I must have a better agency than if I have 50 people at my agency. Let's break that down for a second. The average agency bills about $500,000 to $1 million per employee. So you can expect a 50-person agency has anywhere from $25 million to $50 million in revenue. You can expect that an agency with 500 employees has anywhere from $250 million to $500 million in revenue. Okay, more is better. Why wouldn't we choose the agency with $500 million in revenue? Let's ask the question first. How big is your budget? If you have a $1 million budget and you're going to an agency with $500 million in revenue, you are a small fraction of the attention of that agency. You might have, in that case, 500 employees, but you might not have more than one employee working on your account. And is it going to be their top performing employee? Is it going to be their executive? Is it going to be their leadership team? Probably not. I remember working at a multinational agency as a young man, and I was billing out at $350 an hour, and I was only 2 years into the business. And I was working on accounts that were $1 million accounts because it was considered too small for the big guys. Now you could go to the agency that has $500 million in revenue and bring a $1 million account to that agency, and typically you'll get the attention of the intern. However, if you go to the one-person agency with your $1 million account, now you've got some interest there. That agency is going to give you a lot of attention. As a matter of fact, the individual who's working against that business is not going to take the $1 million. Most of that money will go towards media, and he can afford to do it. Whereas the larger agency with a $1 million budget, most of that money is going to go towards staffing costs. It's not going to go toward your media cost, which is where you want the money going. Now, there are 1,000 chefs at Pizza Hut. However, you won't find one pizza made by one of those chefs that can compare to a gourmet pizza made by a gourmet chef. With a large organization, the focus is on templated approaches and large brands. Billion-dollar agencies serve billion-dollar brands, where a medium or a smaller sized agency is going to have more of a gourmet approach to things, and you're going to get new, innovative solutions that are not templated to the masses, but customized to the individual brands they serve. What's the point of this? When you're choosing an agency in your RFP, try to do the math to understand where you fit in the ecosystem of the agency you're going to work with. You want to look at it as, what percentage of their attention does my brand hold among the top brass of that agency? Am I the right fit? A billion-dollar agency serves billion-dollar brands. A million-dollar agency serves million-dollar brands. Don't hire a billion-dollar agency to serve your million-dollar brand, because you'll get thrown to the intern. So if you are doing an RFP for an advertising agency of record or a digital marketing agency, you might want to go to our blog. Click on the link below. It'll show you a little bit about what you might consider, how you might do the math to understand the right fit for the right brand opportunity. We hope this was helpful. This is Daniel Bryan. Now go do something to disrupt.